very special. And, you know, and I honestly, I don't play, and I want all of us to take care of ourselves. But also in that is the healthcare exchange that I'm going to send out to all of us. Since you read the Google and the Ward 5 that sir, you read up on the fact that come October 1st, that the exchange is here. We met last Saturday over at Turkey Thicket for Ward 5, and I'm surprised. The folks didn't show up, but anyway, that's okay. We were there, and we want to make sure that everybody, whether you have insurance, it doesn't matter. You have to sign up for the health exchange. And you have until January, and January is because in November it's open season. So therefore, you can look to see how much cheaper your insurance is. Because you don't have to exchange it, you don't have to change insurances. You just have to sign up and be on the list. So I just wanted to say that. There's one other thing we had, Commissioner.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Council Period 20, the Council of Columbia has new committees, and so what we have decided to do as ANC 5B is include the community on the committees. So all of us are representing various committees. I represent government operations. So if there are people who would like to work with us on those in the fall, in terms of just, if you are interested, say education, I'll just read them all. Consumer regulatory affairs, human services, finance and revenue, transportation and environment, economic development, again, government operations, judiciary, health and safety, and committee on health. I think that it would be great if you would participate. These are the types of things that, again, bring the healing that we're so desperately needing. And I just want to say to you, Mr. Robinson, you mentioned that the commission did not reach out to their constituents. I stay on the phone for an hour and a half with one in 5B05 who doesn't live in 5B04, right? So I think it's really critical that when we make blanket statements like that we just have that type of information. And just watching and just having watched the process, there has been a lot of, I can see a mob mentality of people from one group. You can walk past someone, they don't speak, and it's how do we work together when there's such strong animosity? You can't even speak when you come in our ANC building. You smile at people. It's just, if you are kind to someone, it's just nice to be nice. It's not about, we have to have tough skin, but again, it's nice to be nice. And we are all human beings, and I think it's important that when we talk to people a certain way, yeah, people's feelings get hurt. But I just think it's very important that we remember that we're all humans. We don't get paid for this. I have a very busy job, a very busy career, so we all do. And so to come in here and to have people look, even sometimes condescending comments, it's just really unnecessary, and it just takes away from what we're all trying to do, which is collectively put something together. So I'm just saying that. I know this is the same faces all the time, saying the same comments, and I respect that. I really do. But there's a point in time where there are other people who haven't said anything in the meetings, and I think sometimes they're intimidated because it's like, my little comment is not going to matter because it's something else on the floor. So that's why the chair said that. Was there anything else that anyone had to say? We're not downplaying Brooklyn's finest, but there are other concerns as well, and people often don't come out to the meetings anymore because it's just one item. So I think we just need to be really conscientious of how we comport as well. I don't say much in the meetings, but I do feel that sometimes it's important to say, observing and seeing certain things, that some people are just very rude. And it's time for it to stop. Thank you, Tom, for saying what you said. I really, really appreciate that. I mean, I really do. I know that it was sincere. I just think if we really want to come together, let's be really honest about it. Who signed up to volunteer? I mean, it's probably no volunteers back there. These are the things that we look at. If you really want to help us. We stood outside, how old are you, in your 70s? We were clipping in the rain and snow, clipping weeds. I mean, I say that she could be my grandmother, and I love her dearly. And I say this with all sincerity, she should not be out there doing that. So when we talk about this stuff, and we say we're really helping and we care, those are the unspoken things. Those are the things that people don't see. And that's what we look at. That we look at who really cares. If you care about the community, help us. Help us. The floor is falling in the back. It's all these different things. And I'm just saying, it's just very frustrating to me, sure. So I'm going to have a seat. But I just wanted to say that because I'm the quiet commissioner, as you guys have called me. and that's fine. I just want to say that because I love all the commissioners here, and I think you do a fine job, and I just would hope that everyone will come out on the 14th and really see what you need to see.
I'm going to ask this brother like this, yes, sir.
Hi, I'd like to bring up what you just said, especially about Council Session 20. And I sat here and I listened to the discussion on Brooklyn's finest. It went on, I think, about, I lost track after, what did I say, 57 minutes and 14 seconds?
Yes, right, yes, that's right.
There's more
That's right.
people in this room discussing a restaurant's future, right or wrong, I have no say on this, than there were testifying on the 9 council education bills that went in front of the council's committee on education. I ought to know. My name is Julius Clark. I'm the chairman of legislative and governmental affairs for the District of Columbia PTA, and I live in the Steptoes ANC. If you really want, and I'm as far as the going back and forth, I'm not going to comment on that. You think you guys are rough? I've been in ANC meetings in Petworth. You guys are calm. 50% of the students in Ward 5 that don't make it to McKinley wind up at Roosevelt. They're mine. I also inherited 23 other schools. My goal is between now and this time next year to bring 150 PTAs online. If you have children and you're passionate about what's going on in your neighborhood, you need to get in touch with your committee on education at the city council, because I'm telling you, the stuff that I'm reading that's coming down the pipe is going to take some of you folks by surprise. It's going to knock you for a loop. I can tell you this, I've already, because I was on the phone today for an hour with one of the representatives of Council Member Catania, who's the chair of the Committee of Education. There's a school 12 miles away that make the 6 best schools in DC public schools look like a failing school. 12 miles away. They have children that are competing on a PISA level that's in the mid-500s. That's the top 25% of the schools in the world. Not in the city, not in the country, in the world. 44% of the children that took ACT in the graduating class of 2012 failed, flat out, did not pass any benchmarks. 22% passed 1 of 3. 10% passed 1 of each. You're talking about changes that are going on. They need to start in each and every one of these schools, ladies and gentlemen. Each and every one of these schools. Because our children are the catalyst that's going to bring this neighborhood and other neighborhoods in the city to the next level. And we've only got what I call one education cycle. That's from the time these kids start preschool and kindergarten to 2015. If we don't have $20 million with a breakdown of 15 million people with bachelors, 1 million with associates, and the remainder with, I believe that's 4 million, with 2 years of college without an associate's degree, nationwide, DC's share of the lost gross domestic product is going to be $222.8 billion with a B dollars. We cannot afford that as a city, not the #1 city on earth. So tonight's situation was passionate. It was wonderful. It almost reminded me of Petworth. Y'all just didn't start throwing the chairs again. And I'm not playing. That's what we do. That's what we do in Ward 4. But remember, you have, but you want to know something? Bring it back. You've got Ward 5 children going to school in a Ward 4 school. It took me a year and a half to lobbying, yelling, get death threats to make sure that school got $100 million. That's Roosevelt. That's the school that the people go to when they don't go to the McKinley. How many people in here knew that? Oh, I know you did because you went over there with me. I know you did because you help me sometimes. How many people have children in school right now in this room? How many know people with children in the school? Get to know your teachers, volunteer in your schools. And that's all I got to say about that.
Mr. Clark, I want to thank you. I just want to kind of led into a meeting. I think you were at your Pacific meeting yesterday. Last night, just piggybacking on the education, last night, for those that are following the D.C. public school situation, the Washington Teachers Union now has a new president. And so last night at Michigan Park Christian Church, there was a massive, massive turnout. Reverend Hagler was there and Dr. Owens, and speaking about the revamping of D.C. public schools. And what's happening is across the city, this group, they're called the Davis-Peterson Transition Team, is going to they're doing town hall meetings in every part of the city so that we can galvanize parents and teachers and students to try to stop the charter school implosion. And so one of the things, again, obviously a lot of people don't have a lot of kids in here, but when you're talking about schools, D.C. public schools being turned over, at least in the same vein as charter schools, they're closed for under enrollment, but they're open right back up as charter schools, which is what happened to SLO, which is now Mary McLeod Bethune. You have to look at what that's doing to your taxpayer dollars. And one of the big issues that a lot of people had was with Bunker Hill, the Brookland School, and how that is being converted to a middle school. So there are a lot of school issues that are going on. For those that are interested, it's easy to find out about, because whether you have children or not, it's going to impact you and how they're being educated and what the city and what we as taxpayers are doing for